There is the example of Hiranyakashipu. What power he had. In this age of Kali Yuga, in the world we live, no one could compare. Hiranyakashipu owned the entire planet Earth. He owned Indraloka and all the Swargalokas, all the planets of those demigods. He was the proprietor, the controller. And as far as his strength, what strength Hiranyakashipu had? We have our cricket players and our golfers and our boxers and football players who are very, very popular because of their strength. And we have their politicians who have their nuclear weapons and everything. But Hiranyakashipu was so powerful. If he raised his eyebrow, the Bhagavatam says, all the demigods would tremble in fear and run away. Hiranyakashipu, he raised his eyebrow. Demigods, millions and millions of miles away, are trembling in fear. What's going to happen next? That's power. And as far as fame, he made it a law. Everyone was honoring and worshiping him. They were bowing down to him. They were offering prayers to him. Even Narada Muni, everyone, except Brahma and Shiva, everyone. That was his power. He gained it through practice. He really practiced. He performed tapasya on the tips of his nose with his arms raised for practically 100 celestial years. Ants ate his body away. He was under an anthill. There was nothing left but a skeleton. And he did not deviate from his practice. He was determined. That's how he got his powers. And then we have our little Prahlad, who was only 5 years old. He never did any tapasya. He was just a sweet, innocent little boy. But because he was renounced, he renounced the desire to be a separate enjoyer. He renounced the desire to be a proprietor or a controller. He renounced the misconception that he was separate from God. Simply because of that renunciation, he accessed the power of the Lord. Hiranyakashipu tried to murder him in every way, and Prahlad was fearless. We all know how miserable it is to be fearful. Fearful that we're going to lose something, either our reputation or our friendship or our loved ones or our life or our wealth. People live in fear. They're motivated so much by fear, and they have to compromise so much out of fear. Prahlad was totally fearless. This little 5-year-old boy could stand before the king of the universe, Hiranyakashipu, and tell him, Father, O king of demons, you're an illusion. You're disgusting. Look at you. Totally attached to all your sense gratification, all your family stuff. Father, just give it all up. Renounce it and go to Vrindavan and worship Vishnu, knowing full well that his father's worst enemy was Vishnu. Vishnu killed his father's brother. Hiranyakashipu declared totalitarian war against Vishnu. And Prahlad's just all alone with him, saying, Father, surrender to Vishnu, go to Vrindavan. How could he be so fearless? And he kept telling him the same thing. Father, you can't attain Vishnu unless you smear the dust of the devotees' lotus feet all over your body. You're too much attached to sense gratification. You're chewing that which has already been chewed. Just hear about Krishna, chant about Krishna, remember Krishna, become Krishna's devotee. Hiranyakashipu put his entire energy on murdering Prahlad. He threw him in fire, he threw him in snakes, he threw him under elephants, he tried severing him with weapons, putting him under water, under mountains, under elephants' trampling feet, feeding him poison. Prahlad never even so much as clenched a fist to defend himself. He never said a single word to retaliate. He just gave his heart to Krishna. Krishna, I'm yours. If you want to protect me, then who can harm me? If you want to kill me, I'm happy to die. That was Prahlad. And therefore the Lord saved him in every situation. Hiranyakashipu was powerless to cause any pain to Prahlad. That is power of renunciation. And in the end, Hiranyakashipu challenged Prahlad, where do you get your powers from? I just fed you poison enough to kill 100 grown men. You're a 5-year-old boy and you're smiling. I did everything. The demigods fear me. You have no fear from me. Where do you get your power from? Prahlad had no ego. He said, my father, I have no power. I get my power from the same place you get your power from. Krishna. Now that was the ultimate insult to his father. If you hate somebody, the worst thing anybody could say is that you get all of your facilities and powers and everything from that person. That is really an insult. Yes? So Hiranyakashipu, where is your Krishna? Where is he? He's everywhere. Is he in this pillar? Yes, of course he's in that. He's everywhere. Hiranyakashipu smashed his fist against that pillar, drew his sword, and attacked Prahlad. And out from the pillar came Lord Narasimha, who was so powerful. Hiranyakashipu could not even look at him. He had to close his eyes. And the roaring of Nrsimhadev was so fearful that Hiranyakashipu's body was trembling to his bones. And that Lord Nrsimhadev, he performed a very excellent surgical operation. It was specifically in the gastrointestinal department. And there was Hiranyakashipu, the king of the demons, like a little wasp being torn apart, effortlessly. Nrsimhadev came to this earth due to the renunciation of Prahlad. That is the power behind one who renounces the false ego and takes shelter of the Lord. The best way to find that shelter of the Lord is to cry out His holy name.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on thesacredconnect.com.